Welcome, it's SVPod. Stanford Steve is here. I'm here. Red the dog was here. I think Red is checked out. Red's at my feet.
I like these morning workouts Red's getting in.
Well, we went for a walk, and when we get back to the hacienda, we get back to the grounds, I let him off the leash, and the problem was he saw a squirrel. And the big man was in hot pursuit. I'm talking, Ridgebacks can move, bro. Like, they called Secretariat Big Red. Like, Red, like a tremendous machine, he is in hot pursuit. But the difference is a squirrel is running for its life. So the squirrel hits you with a couple.
That's what I was gonna. How are his brakes?
Well, he slides in mulch and things of that nature, and then he gets confused where to go, and then it's like, I'm like, he's in the tree, buddy.
You're not getting up there
for the 1,000th time. You're over. Otis was over. You're over. It's fine. They're. I got news for you. They were billed as lion hunters. I got every lion in Africa is just like, yeah, sure they are. You know how many lions got killed by Ridgebacks? 0. Or maybe you need more than one of them. I don't know. But Red is down for the count. Had the big 9-pound tongue hanging out of the side of his mouth. Look at him.
I had a solid 90-second stare down with a fox this weekend.
How'd that go? Who won? You're right.
Me.
Okay.
On the grill, I just turned around and it was like over by I was like, make your move.
And
I got a spatula in my hand. I'm good.
Come get it. I'll fricassee your ass.
Legs are longer than I thought.
Skinny and
fox,
and they're mangy, and they're out there.
There's a lot of cat in those.
Yeah, and
they could slither like the no backbone. They could slither underneath the little crevice.
And when you hear those shrieks at night, when you don't know, the first time you hear it, you're like, wifey, someone's being attacked in the yard. It literally. Hold on, I'm gonna back this up. Right?
Nonstop.
And it's just that. I can't do that.
And it's always at
2 a.m.
Yeah. And that's when they're meeting the babies for the first time, as I read.
I just have Fox. They suck.
Yeah.
I have that on their animal scale.
With you.
Okie doke. So, having established that, we're out on Foxes. Red's down for the count.
A wifey running the neighborhood?
Yeah,
out there.
I don't know. So our neighbor, as I'm walking Red, neighbor meets me halfway. I'm going to meet Steph. She said she can't do it. What's wrong? Back. I'm like, falling apart. Falling apart. You're gonna have to. She said, I'm going to turn her in. Like, okay, you're good. A, no one's better than you. B, I'm elderly and nothing about me is appealing to anyone. So we're really not looking for an upgrade. I'm just hoping you don't take a gander at this and go, what am I doing? So hopefully the Advil will kick in and she can get to running. For the folks that are listening, they won't see the it's not a t-shirt, whatever, the shirt that you're wearing. Who are we representing today?
Triangle of Toughness.
TOT, meep. I'm sure you're going to want to talk college baseball. The regionals are madness. They went into Austin and dispatched with the 2 seed.
See ya.
Didn't lose a game.
No.
Damn.
You want
wide open?
Yeah, like it's all the cliches or whatever, but I mean, truly, the 1 and 2 seeds are out.
Right, Vandy. We were on Friday night. Steve couldn't help us that night. It's fine. Little extra inning softball.
I would have traded with you.
I bet you would have. Hold that thought. Anywho, the first night in Nashville, Wright State was throwing a no-hitter into like the 7th, and then Vandy came back and won 4-3, but then Wright State knocked him out.
Yeah.
I don't know nearly what you know.
Did you watch any?
Some.
Okay.
We had a lot of activities.
Yeah.
A lot of activities.
A lot of wins.
Chip, Steve.
Jags
won the chip.
Yeah, I figured. A lot of talent on that team. I would have said disappointing season in the flag community if the Jags didn't win the title.
Let's get it out of the way right now. Let's give Coach Jack a big tip of the cap. Jack and the kids back to back. Shout to Flagstar. Shout to the Browns. The Jags took out the Browns. That is a well-oiled machine. They got waves of people.
Did they go with Dylan Gabriel or Shoutout at quarterback?
All of them. Might have had. They needed whoever was on the field late. They might have needed to sub out. I don't want to call out the Browns quarterback. He knows there was
too many guys on the field.
No, it was one play to try to tie it and into the wind. I'll say the wind was howling. It was a tough one. It sailed a little high, but that Browns, we have nothing but respect for the entire Browns organization, how they run their show. Well-oiled machine. They got scheme. They got subbing in, line changes. It's a lot. But little man, couple touchdowns late, couple TDs late. I sent you a little mesh scheme.
Heck yeah. Little bunch formation.
Not the fastest guy, but if the ball hits his hands, he'll squeeze it. He made a nice play on a grab late.
Great ones are always open, Scott.
He'll tell you that. It's just every kid on the field. It's just Jack. But the whole Flagstar deal is great. It's a great.
The over coming in again?
Oh yeah. There's stops are.
We got to start setting numbers on those games. 100 might be the starting point.
Stops are rare in Flagstar and Kid Ball. You got Kid Ball, you got Flagstar. They're kind of competing outfits, but I have no favorite. They're both just great. They all do a great job with the kids. So we had that, which prevented me from watching a ton of. And then late at night, I mean, I could have been watching. I was laying in bed texting you about the Little Rock game. They got a winner-take-all game against and Red Stick tonight, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
SEC better buckle up. Cannell will be coming for you. Does he do that for baseball, or is it just for football?
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure. Anything to take a shot at the SEC, I imagine he does. Let's go back to that little Easter egg you put down there on the ground where you said you would have changed with me Friday night.
Yeah.
That was the end of the 4-day stretch, right?
No, that was the middle.
What happened Friday?
Everything.
Was it swimming? Was it?
Yeah.
Activities?
Swimming, basketball, into
sleepover,
monsoon.
Oh yeah.
Like it was crazy how even Saturday.
Well, it was one storm after another. You'd think it was over, and then here come another one.
Yeah. So Saturday we got up. There was swimming, soccer, basketball.
Great.
More swimming.
Have a day.
And there was a pocket. Our game was at 1:20, and we're driving to the field. Storm crazy. Get there, field's empty. Julius West, that mayhem of a scene with 5 fields going, and then sun comes out. We get our game in. The Queens, undefeated season, winner. Got a goal. Start the game.
Really? Set piece.
Set piece. Right out. Yeah, corner into a little. Right off the old boot.
Set piece for the Queens of the field.
Yep. Got Coach Andre and Coach Jonathan. Got it going.
How old are the Queens of the field?
8.
All right.
Yeah. I should say 3rd grade. 3rd grade. Little pizza party
around here, that could mean anything because they redshirt kids around here.
Yeah.
You could be 11 in 3rd grade around here.
This was a good deal because one of the guys got all the girls that are in the same grade at the same school together. And goal differential 50-7 this year.
Have some. Have some.
Sophia, golden boot, most goals. It's good.
Is she going to win the Ballon d'Or?
I don't know. I don't know if she gets promoted. I'm not sure what goes on. But, then we had some hoops. That was a tough L down in Bethesda.
Sorry to hear it.
That's all right. We're same thing, 8-year-olds. And we had a great pool day. Sunday, another soccer game.
Doesn't sound like anything went wrong.
No. We had some early bet. I mean, one time we talk about it all the time. You say Waves are undefeated.
Yeah.
Pool season, undefeated. Like little one yesterday went with a friend to the pool, then to her basketball, then back. We did back to the pool when wifey got to town, and didn't even make it to 8:00 last night.
Well, let's rewind the tape midweek. Didn't one of them pass out at the dinner table?
Yeah. There was a nap, a 6 p.m. nap.
Happens.
So again,
whim-whams.
Yeah.
That happens to everybody. But that's a great planning, great execution. Attitude was big.
Right.
But then execution is the important thing. Got to just make sure that there's always something happening.
Mm-hmm.
I say all this as a way of reminding myself because we're going to get to some finals talk, obviously. We're coming, Oklahoma City and Indy. We'll be in however many finals games there are, we'll be at them. Wifey and daughter are heading out of town for a family function, so it's just boys' weekend. So I'm going to need to be on top of that.
You need help? I'll come over.
Yeah, I might, because we might need to run some fundies. Might need to run some fundies into some pool, into who knows what, because they take advantage of it.
I mean, I pulled in the driveway. The net's out there, basketball, the hoop. I see a stick out there, maybe soccer.
No, there's a little one of those
everything.
Well, had a buddy come over who's a little soccer sort of virtuoso.
Getting the goal?
I was like, y'all.
Getting the goal. Show him what's up.
I'm 6'6", and the goal's like
exactly.
You know, guess what happens now, Ben?
Yeah.
No more goals.
Exactly.
No, he
a little knee bend for you.
That's problem. Might bend over and not be able to stand up. But the end of the week, was the attitude undefeated?
Yeah, we got there, man. Girls were great. A lot of help, obviously. That helped. So no injuries, no casualties,
no hospital trips.
No.
Awesome.
We're good.
And then that's a win.
A win. Big win.
Way to go. Dad of the week.
Appreciate it.
EOTW, Stanford Steve. We're going to circle back to the college baseball, I'm sure. We have final set in both the NBA and the NHL. So Stanley Cup is a rematch, running it back, Florida and Edmonton. And the NBA finals, you've said for as long as I've known you, and we really haven't had it much, Milwaukee got in there for something new. It's guaranteed new. Whoever it is new.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's SGA and that whole tight-knit squad, whether it's Halliburton and that tight-knit squad, whether it's the Indianapolis folks, whether it's the OKC folks, somebody is going to have a big happy parade for the first time. For the first time in forever. I don't know why I just did that. And Vegas says it's by a monster number, it's OKC, which I got a hard time not looking at Indiana and asking, how do you not at least take a bite of the apple if that's your get back?
Yeah, we thought the Timberwolves series was too high.
Uh-huh.
You know, a little nibble there, loss. We were on Indiana, win. But looking at the price of now, it's what, minus 700. It's pretty crazy. I looked up. I believe the the 04 Pistons, where your producers wanted a 11-game series. How many? Remember that conversation? Anyway,
I was so mad every single day. All right, so we're gonna do Lakers, and the Pistons are leading the series. Could we talk about the team winning the games? I was new then. My voice probably wasn't raised.
Soul patch?
Soul patch. Robust soul patch. And I would protest in the meetings, but what was I going to say? But you know what I'd say now? I'd say we're going to talk about the fucking Pistons because they're leading the series, and that's what we do. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that Pistons teams was over plus 200 in that series. I think that's the only one to win. And then obviously
plus 200 is not plus 700.
No, well, it's plus, what are they, plus 5? Plus 500?
I don't know.
I believe that's what it is now. And then the other one that really stood out, I was thinking about it, was the Lakers-Iverson, which was a monster price. And then everybody lost their minds because the Sixers won game one and then got demolished.
Yeah, they did get debacled from there.
But yeah, we got a 4 seed in the NBA Finals. And I believe the Celtics in 2010 were a 4 seed when they lost in 7. And then I believe the only 4 seed to win was the 69 Celtics, which is documented in Celtic City, which was an improbable thing. But there was a lot of injuries and stuff like that. But
that's the thing I always say.
It's been done, but it's been a while.
Fair, in great context. But the thing about when you win one, nobody remembers who got hurt along the way.
No.
Like if you win and you hang a banner, In parentheses, it doesn't say, yeah, but so-and-so got hurt. And no one gives a shit. You have a parade and you win a title. That's it, and that's all. And so, yeah, I mean, Tatum went down against Boston. It was going to be 3-1 in that game, regardless of if he didn't get hurt. Could they have come back? Sure, maybe. But Indiana, New York, largely based on the way the play had gone, feels about right. You could argue Boston's going to look at those first two games forever and say, I have no idea what happened. Okay, sure. But the Knicks are going to look back at game one and try to piece together, wait, what?
Yeah.
Ball went off the back rim straight up in the air and dropped. Didn't beat us, but then we lost. We had a chance to get the standing 8 count, shake off the premature Reggie celebration, and they still beat us. I mean, Indiana was the better team in that series. The appropriate team won. And you're right, we both mentioned Minnesota as being a team we like. They weren't close in that series.
No.
They got one where, at some point in that, probably the second quarter, and certainly early in the second half, Dagnall and OKC's like, have fun, man. Beat us by 1 million, counts for one. We'll see it for game 4. And then when they won that one in the game where Minnesota didn't get a ton from their stars, but their bench shot the crap out of it, and they made 18 threes. That was where they had to have that to make it a best of 3. They didn't get it. And then Minnesota looked like what they were in that game 5. Like a team that
early second quarter you saw. We're going to
tap.
Yeah.
Tap. OKC was clearly better there, and they're expected to win. Do you have any reason that you think they won't?
If they get Siakam against the Knicks, I mean, he was incredible in that thing. And just a bit about the Pacers, you talked about the injuries along the way. They come out, they take care of Giannis, obviously. Cleveland's the 1 seed, dinged up to start the series. But again, no one's going to remember that, to your point. And I always say it, the opportunity. Playoffs are the biggest opportunity. You think about guys, and I always say how much guys' image and whatever, the narrative, if you want, changes after you see these guys in series and having success. Like a guy like Nembhard. I thought he was incredible against Brunson in game 6. And, he's just a guy before the playoffs.
Yeah, but that level of ferocity on defense was amazing to see because it never wavered. It was just, you play pickup and there's that guy. You come out, you're like, all right, I'm going to check you. All right, we're going to get our sweat and get some buckets. You get some buckets. And then there's the guy in the rec specs, and he's sweating already, and he's guarding you like his life depends on you not touching the ball on the first possession. And you're like, oh, this is what we're doing. He was that guy, only a pro.
Yeah.
And he's locking Brunson down, put him in absolute hell. It was amazing. Even there was one play in particular, I'm sure everybody will remember if they're watching, where it was off him out of bounds. It was up by the timeline going right to left.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just he was harassing him so badly. And he gets up and he's clapping and he's loud, and he should have been. I don't want to belabor the point. It was amazing to watch that guy's impact on a guy who's scoring 30 some odd nightly like it's nothing. He was incredible.
Yeah, and they were at a level that I wasn't sure if they could get to, but they got there. And you go back to the beginning of the series. It's amazing the things that happen that end up being major points, and obviously the game 1. And even I think coming back in game 2, where no one thought they were going to win, and going up 2-0 on the road, like that's big boy stuff. And I give all the credit to them. And I've talked about it. I love Carlisle. And I just think about him just being a lifer. And then like in game 6, like, Stan Van and Reggie are pointing out early in the game, like, hey, Neesmith, maybe he's not 100. He's not guarding Brunson. And it was, no, we're putting Nembhard on him. Like that's our move. And the little chess moves that a guy makes with that, I think doesn't get enough credit. And he's not the most open guy, but you could tell his players absolutely love him. I remember talking when Jalen Rose worked with us, and I talking about his old development, playing for those Pacers teams that I loved when Bird was coaching, because they were the team that I thought that was the only one that could knock off Jordan and the Bulls. and they got all the way there. Game 7 in Chicago, and they just couldn't do it. But going back, Jalen was like, every day, Carlisle was my guy. Whatever, game day, we'd go, 5 hours early. And it was things taking his game from a college where he's a great player, but figuring out what he had to do to be a good pro. And it always just stuck with me. He came and worked with us for a little bit. Again, very quiet guy. Didn't really let you in, but if you had a way of talking ball, he would open up. But I'm just super happy for him. Like a lifer, and again, he's got an opportunity of a lifetime. And going back to what that he's won one with the Mavs.
Well, that's
he's done it.
That's something that has to be pointed out here. And I've written something that I would do on SportsCenter if they won, and now they have, and we didn't have SportsCenter the night they won it. So we're on this week. I'll do it, I assume Monday, just about the Pacers and really our failing. And I mean us and anyone in media when it comes to the Pacers. There are some reasons why. The point that in the script that I've written is, I'll bet money that First Take hasn't done segments on them during the regular season. I'll bet money they haven't. But that's not knocking them, because I know, having done our show, we didn't lead SportsCenter with the Pacers. Like ever, unless they were playing another star-laden team. They were the other team opposite the Lakers, the Bucks, or whomever.
Yeah.
So it's on all of us to have missed it. But then I look back, they were sub 500 around the holidays, and that's around the time that you're like, all right, well, what do we got here, right? Because you get the long winter, get to the spring and summer, but the things that we collectively missed is you have a guy in Rick Carlisle who is an NBA coach that's won a title. You have a guy in Pascal Siakam who's been on a title-winning team and a significant contributor, who's capable of scoring 30-plus multiple times in a conference final and won the conference MVP. See Halliburton stuff forward?
I didn't. I wasn't watching. I turned it.
People are clowning him for it. I mean, I'm sure I assume I won. Well, Halliburton's impact was monstrous. You have that guy. Then you have Halliburton, who's an all-star starter. And I get whatever that thing is now. It's not what the all-star game used to be. He's still an all-star starter. So you're checking a lot of boxes here for what we in media should be celebrating. And I made try to make an equivalent in my head of, like, if there were an NFL team with a coach who'd won a Super Bowl and a player who is an all-pro, all-star, a player who was a significant contributor to a Super Bowl winning team, they'd never be ignored the way the Pacers mostly were. And so all I can say is it's great that they are going to get their attention now. But like looking back, I give myself, and I won't cast aspersions to anybody, I'll just give myself a failing grade as it relates to acknowledging the Pacers as potentially being what they were. When we talked East, we were like, look, it's going to be Cleveland and Boston. We draw a line under them. And the question was, if anyone, who might it be? You're like, well, maybe the Knicks. And then the Pacers, well, they score really. Yeah, they score the crap out of the ball. Carlisle's done it before. It was just, they were hiding in plain sight. So I just feel like collectively, hand up, bad job from me to not acknowledge what they were, or not acknowledge that they could have been this when they've already shown to a degree they could. Now they get their chance. And they're enormous underdogs against OKC, and I understand why. I mean, we talk about the relentlessness of Nembhard. Like, Oklahoma City's entire defense is like that.
That's the point of the series here. Is you look at a Nembhard, a Siakam, a Halliburton, they have multiple guys to defend those guys. Yep. And when you look at the Knicks, I think the depth is a factor. And I mean, Legs pointed out early in the series, and again, time after time, after made baskets, Siakam leaking out and getting easy buckets, that stuff wears on you, man. And Stan Van said in the second half, it was happening again in Game 6. He's like, this is completely unacceptable. It's the 6th game of a series, and you're letting free runouts on made hoops. Get your asses back on defense. And again, it's a game plan. It's a mindset. It's instilling it in your players, and that starts with the coach. So again, an incredible run. But I think they got to be better than they were against the Knicks, and they were fantastic.
Yeah, they're the best shooting team in the playoffs. The game they lost in New York, they shot 40% going into that game. They were over 50% from the floor in the playoffs, which, I mean, it's the toughest time of year. You're not, all due respect, you're not playing the Wizards. You're not getting teams on back-to-backs that aren't playing guys. You're shooting 50% from the floor in the playoffs. I mean, that's awfully impressive. That is going to have to continue. You're going to have to make shots over and over and over again against the Thunder.
And it's going to be really hard to overreact if OKC goes up 2-0. Like, you gotta be like, the series doesn't start until a road team wins. Like, that's going to get, because then you have all these days off with travel. I think it's, where are we going? We're going Thursday. Thursday, and then they play Sunday.
Yeah. And
then they don't play till Wednesday. So, like, that's going to be 3 days of this OKC. If they go up 2-0, they're impressive of, is this it? Is it over? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to be tough to not jump in on that, but I do want to give Indiana a chance when they go back home, because they do get, hopefully, the 3 games. So, there's a lot to look at. I just think the depth and the consistency of what the Thunder have been and what they've shown now through another series. Got tested against Denver, and then really put their foot down in a big spot in Game 4 against the T-Wolves on the road in a game that Minnesota had to have, and they pulled it out. So
Legs was there for OKC, and I just was jotting down the things he was saying about them. Just that it's like there's a cruelty to them. I mean, if you look at the numbers, they've already got 4 wins by 30 or more points, and they've only won 12 games. Mm-hmm. So a third of their wins are by 30 points in the playoffs. And he said there's a cruelty. He said they're like, what do you call them? Thieves of joy. Like, they just won't ever let you be happy. And he talked about on defense, and he showed it on like the touchscreen, that when you beat a guy in the NBA, there's so much talent around you that you're going to let your help. He said that the thing with the Thunder is they never stop. They'll chase and rake. And you see with them, and Alex Caruso talked about it when he joined us, just that, we keep tabs on, how many deflections there are. It's a big point of pride within that team. Who gets the most deflections? Who gets the most strips? They never stop harassing you on defense. And it's, okay, well, it's Caruso who passes you off to Jalen, who passes you off to Lou Dort, who passes you off to, okay, well, we got Chet behind us who can erase a lot of mistakes with his length. I mean, they've won, what they win, 6, so they've won 80 games already. So they have a chance to win 84 games. Puts you in really rare air. And again, I keep coming back to that number because it's just astounding that an Indiana team that got rid of Cleveland, and yes, Cleveland was banged up, but I don't care. Like, the way they beat them badly. And then it just feels like there's not enough respect for Indiana. All of that said, I don't see how you don't say Oklahoma City wins the title.
I agree.
I'm going to squint at it and try to look at it through every different, like, every angle to go, there's my path. There's my path to why the Pacers are the correct play here. I just feels like it's the only way you could bet it, but it feels like you're not going to win if you do.
-700 plus 500.
Good God. Meanwhile, it's a coin flip in the Stanley Cup. I just think Florida wins because I can't pick against my guy.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice. You said it. He's my favorite coach.
You love him.
Love him. Everything he says, I love. But there's a guy that's been there for longer. Everything he says, I love. Coach T. And I've been thinking about it. Coach T or Maurice. I don't know.
Maurice.
I can't make it. Huh?
You like Maurice better, Mike.
I think it's the Canadian accent. And I think it's that there's a little twinkle in his eye because he admits to cussing a lot.
Yeah.
Which I can identify with. Coach T, I mean, I'm sure he's capable. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like I hear it or see it as often.
They're both great users of adjectives.
They're just both incredible orators. Just when they talk, their percentage of words said that are useless to words said that matter, really high on the words said that matter. Love them. Edmonton, though, comes in rolling, losing Hyman to the injury. Again, I don't profess to be as inside hockey as like when everybody, the Chicklets guys, the Messier guys are all just trying to explain to you, look, this would be a gigantic loss. But I'd say it's a gigantic loss just in the sense that you have this embarrassment of riches over there. And clearly it matters. He's a huge goal-scoring presence on that team. But I like the Panthers just because I like the Panthers.
Understood. It was pretty eye-opening. And when you asked Messier, and he's like, yes, it's a big deal. And hockey guys are the kings of next man up, roll with the punches, blah, blah, blah. You know, like they just, nothing's going to get in their way of staying on the grind. But I'll admit, I'm rooting for the Oilers. I really want McDavid to get a cup, man. I just think watching them is just incredible. The speed they play with.
Him in particular.
And then the bodiness and the wall game that Panthers bring.
Wall game.
Is a tremendous matchup. There's a great clip shown of Tkachuk and McDavid in the handshake line last year.
See you next
after
year.
Game 7. See you next year. And McDavid just gave him the nod. And you go back, and the Oilers looked as bad as anybody in the playoffs the first 2 games. They got smoked by L.A. And then they were down, I think, 3-1 again in Game 4 or 5. So
they lost their first 2. They're 12-2 since.
Yeah.
12-2. And Dallas kept getting close enough that you're like, all right, we're a goal away. And then there's a breakaway, and it's McDavid. And it's just, I've said this before, but I think it every time, that when you see youth sports and there's that kid that everybody knows, this kid's the kid.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that he's going to go or she's going to go do something crazy. But it's youth sports. Everybody else is 10. And this one kid just plays like an adult. He plays like that in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like there's a burst of speed from him, and you're not catching him. And then one little move, puts on the brakes, sprays the backup goalie because Otter got pulled, and 2-goal lead. That's that. He's insane. It's like he's a teenager playing with squirts. Squirts. What a great name, by the way.
Speaking on behalf of 2 guys that never put ice skates on.
That's us.
I can't get over how you could be skating that fast. It's one-on-one with the goalie. You're going right at him. Playing NHL, 94, 95, all those, like, boom, into the goalie, whatever. Everything's going, yard sale.
Backhand.
But he stops on a dime, flips it, never touches. He's closer to the goalie than you and I are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Never touches, puck's in the net, he's celebrating with his friends. It's like, how does that happen? And I say it all the time, but these guys are on freaking ice skates. It looks like they're just as smooth as could be. But yeah, the passing, I think, is also, and I think Florida's done a really good job with that. But that's the thing that sticks out when you watch these teams. The best of the best. They're both playing the best. And I don't think, as far as the league, you got the defending champ against the best player in the league. That's everything you want.
Are we going to worry about the ratings for that one, or is it just going to be the NBA that everybody's worried about the ratings? Because that's Edmonton. So like the ratings, I don't know how good they'll be. Are we going to worry about that, or that's just going to be the NBA that people talk about who's going to watch and then probably just the NBA, right?
Yeah, because it's on our family
right,
networks.
right. Because then everybody can talk about do comparisons of this rating versus that rating.
You love it.
I don't love it. I don't love it. Because it's just, you're very selective with the things that you do comparisons on. You know how many people watched the World Series in 1978? 44 million. 44 million. 42 million watched it in
the Yankees-Dodgers?
Yes. 42 million people. You know how many people watched it in 2023? 9. That's how many people watched the World Series in 2023. 9. That was the lowest rated World Series ever. It was There weren't any think pieces about it that I saw about.
What was that, Rangers?
2023 was Diamondbacks.
Rangers, right?
No. You're the guy that remembers everything.
Yeah.
Rangers. Bochy over the Diamondbacks. You're right.
Yeah.
Rangers.
All right.
Rangers, Diamondbacks. 2023. So
Diamondbacks beat the Phillies.
Right, correct. I just the people that
$9 million.
Niner. That was a 4-year run of the four lowest rated World Series that they ever had. It was 20, 21, 22, and 23. You get the Yankees and the Dodgers, get good ratings. But I'm just saying that there was a 4-year sustained period where those ratings, which bottomed out at 9, and you compare it to 44 million. You could do that if you are going to compare ratings from past title series, but that just doesn't happen. People don't do that, which is fine.
Yeah.
I just think watch it or don't. And the World Series, the NBA Finals figure to be great. And the Stanley Cup Final, and by the way, it's on another network. Go watch it. It's gonna be awesome. Like I root for everybody to get great ratings, and doesn't impact anybody outside the sphere of TV. But I just know how much work goes into this from all the men and women in the truck and on the ground, and traveling here and there to do it. So I think
Edmonton
you're going
to Florida.
Pardon?
Edmonton to Florida. Not like Tampa either. That's all the way down. Sunrise.
We're complaining about the directs from here to OKC, but we got that sorted out, by the way. Shout to our friends. Wheels up. We will see you in OKC.
Taken care of there. Did you book your flight jet for 3 and 4?
Figure that out. Listen, we have a wonderful relationship and partnership with our friends there. You just don't want to exploit it and be gross about it. I think here to Indy's we have a bunch of direct options.
Yeah.
And so
I booked mine. We're good.
I mean, just try, right?
That's it. We'll see.
I'll see you there. I'll be there. Chuck's coming?
Yeah. Chuckster will be at 3 and 4.
Just to Indy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rendezvous.
I mean,
when's the last time you saw him?
In person?
That thing in North Carolina?
Yeah, when I didn't win the Sportscaster of the Year. I tied Ernie Johnson. Tied him. Didn't beat him. Tied him. Tied's better than not beating him. So Chuck was there for Ernie, and I think that's the last time I saw him in person. But look forward to, hopefully we'll get a chance to say hello in person. What do I have for you? I mean, the stat about the Rockies and Scottie Scheffler is hard to ignore. Since the 2nd of May, they each have the same number of wins. That's 3.
Brutal.
See, the Rockies are 9 and 50.
9 and 50.
They're on pace to win 25 games. I don't know what to say. I just wrote it down, and I'm trying to think from the perspective of, we're just talking about a little kid in the neighborhood that's the really good person.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever you're listening, you played against that kid. Maybe you were that kid. Odds are probably not, because there aren't many. But that kid's going to the bigs. And then that kid does go to the bigs. And then they're playing for the Rockies. And so you're a big league player. You've realized the dream. You're better than 99.99% of all the people that have ever picked up a bat or grabbed a baseball to throw a pitch. But now you're playing on a team that's won 9 out of 59 games. And I'm trying to process what that would be like on a daily basis. Going to the park, taking BP, going over the fundies, cover the bag, turn 2. All right. Tonight's the night. We're going to start a little winning streak tonight. Or you're 9 and 50.
Yeah.
And people work hard. You don't need to do that thing where you're like, you could have a real job. Don't do that. I'm saying, comparing this to the idea of what it would be like to the reality of living it. And I just think it would be awfully difficult day in and day out to go to the park knowing you're going to lose.
Yeah, in baseball, I still think is the toughest game mentally, because you talk about going personally, you know what your stats are at the plate, and if you're going to slump, you know it, everybody around you knows it. This team is in a slump. They still have over 100 games to play, and they've won 9.
Think about that. You're 9-50, and you have 100.
Yeah.
We talked last week. When does summer officially start? I said it's when school ends. Which
you're right.
Which, by the way, is Wednesday of this week. So pray for me. You have the entire summer of day after day getting your face kicked in. Steve, if they win 25 games, like that's would be a catastrophe.
I wanted to see if anybody posted an alternate win total. Now that they are 9-50, somebody has to have it.
9-50. I mean, the White Sox were just as bad as you could ever imagine last year. And they're going to have the record for a year. Not even. We did a thing on SportsCenter about how we were going to root for them, and we kind of abandoned that.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I watched them this week. Yeah, they're not even on here.
You watched them?
Yeah, they played the Mets this week.
Oh.
The Mets swept them. So it.
Hey, Orioles swept the White Sox.
There we go.
Don't let us get hot. Don't let us get hot.
Where are they at? They still 14 under?
13.5, I believe, is where they were. Man, that might have been before the Yankees game last night.
Do you look at the standings a lot? Major League Baseball.
Not a lot. And I'll admit that for me, when the Orioles, I mean, they were horrible.
Yeah.
And then they had that window when it's like, oh, they got all these good young guys, and here we go. And then they went to the playoffs, and now they're back in last again. It's kind of hard to wake up and go, all right, let's take a look at what do we got out west. We got a little movement, huh? Houston, Seattle. But I did take a look at it yesterday just because I thought it's June 1st. Who are our leaders? A little baseball talk with my guy, Steve.
And who did you see who's in second in the AL East?
I didn't. It's Tampa Bay?
Toronto.
Oh.
I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Toronto.
I was like, oh.
Didn't know that?
No, I did not.
See, I think I had this conversation with somebody, and we talked about it years ago with Rosillo, and the point about when you used to have to open up the back page on Sunday to know batting averages, you had to work hard to know stuff. And now when it's so easy to know things, we're dumber because we don't. That nothing holds true for me. That idea makes more sense to me as it relates to baseball. And I think it's because the Orioles aren't good at the moment. But honestly, I mean, last year they were really good. I don't know that I could have told you who's second and third in the West. When I was a little kid, I knew the standings top to bottom. I knew every team's order. I knew every team's rotation. Got some blind spots right now, Steve.
No doubt.
I got some I don't know what that is, why that is.
Multiple sport in the portal doesn't help. We spend a lot of time on that because it's constantly,
that's interesting.
Takes time away.
I got leaders for you here. Yankees, Detroit, Seattle for the moment. Metropolitans. Chicago Cubs having a nice year. Fun summer on the north side. And the Dodgers as well. Those are just your division leaders. I don't know who's the best team in baseball at the moment. I mean, I guess the record says it's Detroit.
They're pretty legit, man. Scooble's insane how good he is.
I look back and what was it that they wanted from Baltimore for him?
Holiday.
Yeah. I get that it would have been a tough thing to give away number one, but Scooble's.
Yeah. And that feels like a dying breed too, starting pitching.
Feels like.
It's unbelievable.
It is. It all goes back to when Tampa Bay came up with the whole thing of the starter. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to just give a guy.
What'd they call him? The opener?
The opener.
The opener, yeah.
Thank you. I said starter. I'm the opener.
Yeah.
And that's baseball now. I mean, you get to the World Series. It used to be like, we're going to set our rotation, so we got 1, 2, 3 lined up.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you have an opener pitching World Series games, just not a throwaway game, because you're like, look, a guy gives us 3 innings, once through the order, we're good.
And then you got the other side alternating, doing their lineup based on that. It's crazy.
Yeah, the game, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. The game, I grew up with Jim Palmer. Like, they're giving the ball to Palmer, and like, you're settle in. Channel 2, watch Chuck Thompson.
He's going 7 for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be a CG shut piece. but I don't know. The sport is entirely different than it ever was. But that doesn't excuse away the amount of apathy and atrophy. Maybe that's the correct word, because it is an apathy. I'm not apathetic, but it's atrophied my day-to-day consumption of it in an odd way. And I mentioned the ratings. I just wanted to do it just to make a point that's not talked about the way the NBN specifically, I should say, is regard to rating. But that's just a reflection of that game and the way our national attitude towards that sport has gone. And they've done a great job in the last couple of years speeding it up.
Oh yeah,
the clock and all. Like it's a really good product. Except in Denver.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All due respect.
People that know me know the Mets are my favorite thing in the world, so I watch them as much as I can every
I know
single
you do.
night. And problem was I had the college baseball on, so I had the Mets on the side TV with no voice, so I didn't get the commentary from the Mets guys or what they saw from the Rockies. That was my mistake, because they could get creative with that kind of stuff normally. But yeah, Yankees Dodgers this weekend. They went Apple TV, Fox, and then last night ESPN. I'm interested to see what those numbers did. Not great games though.
Not really. I mean, the Friday night, the Apple game was interesting because there was a ton of home runs. It was 5-2 early Yankees, and then Shohei hit another, and then they came. I think they scored 8 unanswered or something like that to win. If you run it back, fine.
My cousin reached out. He said Whitey Herzog would definitely have had Ohtani's bat checked.
There you go.
Whitey would have done it.
Just check the bat.
That's it.
That's all he's saying. Give it a look.
Yeah.
A little peek, little look-see. I mentioned the Scheffler as a comparative metric for the Rockies. That guy's going to reach a point where his number at Oakmont, what's the number going to be?
He was plus 280 to win the Jacks tournament. Plus 280.
I couldn't.
I look at that.
I couldn't believe it.
It's not even worth it.
No, that's
how many golfers are in that?
100. Well, that was a smaller field.
70s,
more than that. It's about, but the other 70 don't have a chance either. I go back to Tiger, and I've always explained here and elsewhere that doing comparisons to Tiger and whoever aren't fair to either. But Tiger at his peak, I don't remember ever being plus 280 in a tournament, ever. And then he went out and won.
Yeah, he got down to I remember 300. I remember one Masters, he was like 400.
And that was in a major.
Yeah.
That's a major championship where Tiger's numbers were that. But Sky's plus 280, and he wins again. Again, not having Rory's a bummer, and that I rubbed Jack the wrong way.
Jack was awesome. And that's why I wanted to get to. I've been to Columbus a bunch. I've never been there.
Oh, you love
that place. I love that course.
Well, it's
how many guys? I was like 8 guys shot on their par.
It was really difficult this week. Rough was up. Fairways were narrow. You could see the nods to Augusta. 12 is a par 3 over water. Skinny little green bunker in the back.
18's fascinating.
Really good hole.
You're constantly
water left.
uphill.
Water left. Yep. There are a lot of couple of long par 5s on the back that feel kind of like Augusta's par 5s. The influence of the course where he's the greatest champion ever is all over it. But, having been there a bunch back in the day, Columbus comes out in that's big way to support it. And that was a great scene on 18. And you get the I don't want to say the right champion because Ben Griffin's been playing his butt off lately, but you get the number one player who's the favorite. And then how about when he gets his boy afterwards? And everybody said the same line, but it really is peak dad life. You just won $4 million. Hey, here's your son because you want to hug your child. He's got a giant blowout in his back because he just shit his pants and it went up the back. And it's Scottie, because he's him. He grabs him. He takes a look. And he's like, yeah, what do you got? He keeps walking up the hill with his kid. That's that dude in a nutshell. Totally unimpressed by himself. Can't wait to hug his boy. Don't care that we had a blowout. Give me my boy.
Yeah. Did you see Jack after the tournament?
Which
part?
He
said, when he was talking about Scottie. And he mentions, he's like, you got Scottie with a lead, and then you got Ben Griffin, Sepp Straka, Nick Taylor. He's like, they're not him. He's not worried. He's just got to worry about himself.
No, and I mean, it's the point about the absence of, well, in this case, Rory. But I think back to Rahm was leading this tournament one year when he tested positive for COVID afterwards.
I had him.
That's a bad beat.
Yeah.
And not having him, not having a DeChambeau. I mean,
Snedsy. Nice
week for Snedeker.
Yeah, so what is that?
I understand the point, and it's a valid point to be made that's the difference of guys being on another tour now. Is he stressed and tested as much versus the field week to week with them being there? Well, no, he's not. But you know what? They don't have to play against him either over there when they play 54 holes. So I don't want to hear it. Like, you could look both ways. And by the way, Scottie won when they were all together at Quail Hollow a few weeks ago, and they'll all be together at Oakmont again. So it's a point to be made specific to Jack's Place, because Jack's Place tends to identify dudes like that. A Rahm, a DeChambeau, guys like that. With Neiman, sure, they'd all play well there. But Scottie at the moment has won 3 of his last 4 tournaments, and the one he didn't win, he finished tied for 4th.
It's nuts. 11 guys under par. Crazy. Yeah, I got to get
some
there.
Backdoor top 20s, although if you tie, it's bootleg site just screws you, but whatever.
Ober, big 66 on Sunday for that one.
I think Gordo had that one for.
Yeah, I don't see any.
We bringing Gordo back for redemption?
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
I don't see any U.S. Open odds. Like, we got the qualifier today at Woodmont, right?
Always, yeah.
Is it really 75 guys for 4 spots?
Yeah, and that's why the trick with that, and guys would always look to try to figure out, where can I go where there's the most spots for the fewest people, or where can I go where there's probably the least opposition in my way? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Woodmont, I think one year, I think it was Shigeki Maruyama. I think he shot like 58 at Woodmont. He had a putt for 57. About little 5'8", which is always fun when like pros come to your course. Let's see how they do. 58.
Did you see our guy McGinnis's tweet?
I did not.
So last night, he writes, "Tonight, as I drove to the airport leaving Columbus, I passed the Courtyard Marriott where I stayed in 1995 when I got through the 36-hole qualifier and earned a spot in my first U.S. Open. I made the cut that year at Shinnecock. Monday isn't the longest day in golf. It's the best."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So good.
And
I think that's Shinnecock. I think that's where Sergio came off, and one of the reporters were like, how'd you feel? I think he shot. It was impossible that day. And like, I think as it was, like 3 guys that were done shot under par. It was some stupid low number. And Sergio was like, "Oh, really? That's good." And they were like, he was like, who else? And they're like, "John McGinnis." He's like, "I know John McGinnis. He cannot shoot 70.
John's got some great stories about that.
The best
the inventor
storyteller of all time.
The inventor of the hook fade. I think I got through my card mostly.
We got 2 weeks to Oakmont? Father's Day, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to figure out where we are, and like with the travel back.
I can't wait to see you if this NBA Finals goes 7 games.
What do you mean can't wait to see me? I signed up for 7. I'm good.
Okay.
We'll be fine. Hey, listen, at the end of that, actual chocolate.
Yeah.
Out of here. Stage left. Anything else you wanted to mention? College World Series, because we kind of addressed it, but I'm sure you watched a lot of it.
Yeah, what
do you got for the people?
I mean, the SEC is on tilt here. You got the top 2 seeds with Texas and Vandy out. Georgia, who was first place in the SEC, I want to say 2 days before the SEC tournament starts, they're out. Duke goes there and wins that, and then you got, I'm going to miss a couple, but LSU is playing an elimination game tonight. Who else? Tennessee. And I think that Ole Miss
That
and
place
Oklahoma.
Ole Miss looks like just a scene.
Wow. Getting to the scenes,
Coastal,
Conway, like that game, they played ECU twice.
no quarter.
And, baseball is, those levels where you're not the SEC, they're still pretty. I mean, Coastal won a national championship. East Carolina's still trying to get there, but they're to Omaha.
Has Coastal won 21 straight games? Did I see that right?
23, I think.
Wow.
And this is their first time back in the Super Regional since they won it in 2016. And I just the generic energy you get of places like that, where it's the little guy, and I just thought it was remarkable how awesome it was to watch baseball in that kind of environment. Then they play again last night where ECU's got to beat Coastal twice, and they lose 1-0 in the first game. A sac fly in the 8th, and then Coastal comes out and shuts the door. It was a hell of a scene in Conway, and I believe they go to Auburn now, which is also as pretty a park as you're going to find out. But Wright State was a team you mentioned earlier that went to Vandy, and the guy Mike Rooney said he called Wright State your relatives that are still at your Christmas party at 3 a.m. that you can't yell at because you love them, but you really want them to leave. And
what a great analogy.
It was so good. And when you see that, and Vandy's like, oh, like all week, you're like, Wright State's coming in. And they've been a terror to teams all over the place. And they come in, they got a lot of spunk. And kid had a no-hitter through 6 in 76 pitches. They pull them, they lose that game. They come back and win, and they come back and beat Vandy, and then lost to Louisville, who's going to their 10th Super Regional. And the Super Regional numbers are a little different because you got to remember it's not forever. Super Regionals, I want to say, started my senior year in college, 99, so that you have 27 years, but there's some impressive numbers of teams that have done it. But yeah, just the scenes at these places. I mean, LSU the first day played, they had a schedule for a 2:00 local game. They didn't get first pitch till like 8:30 local. Then after that, they've shut out Little Rock, and then Rhode Island, I forgot who they played. They were playing till 3 a.m.
It's fine. It's Baton
and
Rouge.
The people behind the LSU people, as you know, being at a tailgate from, let's say, noon local to 2 a.m. local.
It's fine.
They found themselves very interested in the Rhode Island Rams program. And it's just great theater. I think it's fantastic of what college baseball brings to the table. So I know a lot of it is not what people watch, but if you get a chance, put it on because it's real, man. It's great. It's a great version of baseball.
And this is a couple of weekends in a row. Obviously, where we live and the school I went to, lacrosse is a big deal. And Maryland makes it to the final again. Cornell was the best team all year, and they won. If you watch the Final Four, it's an incredibly entertaining product, and the games are really, really fast-paced, whether you know it or not. I think it's really entertaining. And I feel the same way about college baseball. I think it's more regional than lacrosse, certainly, because it's played nationwide, but there are obviously regions where it matters a whole lot more. Particularly in the SEC, where you've got, talk about the NIL and the portal era. I mean, you got deep pockets, you got the ability to spend and all the rest of it. And so there are places like Conway where it matters a whole lot. Baton Rouge. I mean, I don't want to start naming names because it matters to all of these different places. But I'm with you. When you turn it on, you're rarely disappointed in terms of the atmosphere and the want to and the overall passion for the product.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised. Like they were throwing around the baseball budgets of the current college baseball super regional teams. Florida State, $5.2 million. Coastal, $3.9. West Virginia, $3.8. Shout out Mountaineers. That was an unbelievable comeback.
Big comeback, right?
Yeah. UTSA, $1.7.
Meep, meep.
Arkansas, $9.1.
$9.1 million is their NIL budget for baseball. My God.
Wright State, 1.1. So, they're getting guys. It's just making the most of you. You got some funds, which is awesome to see. And you see that with teams like Coastal.
Where's that
going.
money come from? I can't imagine. I mean, it's just an endless supply of dough.
You know what the basketball team is.
I understand that, and you're in the SEC, and everyone wants to be good in football there.
Yeah.
I mean, Arkansas, you got the chicken guy, and you got the Walmart folks, don't you?
Yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch.
Little chicken and Walmart. That's how you end up with a $9 million baseball budget on top of whatever Cal gets, on top of whatever, yes sir, whatever Coach Pitt gets. Man, it is. It just means more. This changes. It's just we have more, and then in parentheses put the dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, I just can't. We talk about it, but it's still, especially baseball's a big deal. When I was at Stanford, they would go to Omaha. These teams would come in. The guys we got to see were incredible. Booney was on USC. Troy Glaus was a shortstop at UCLA. Jeff Jenkins used to hit bombs for the Brewers. He was at SC, still hit the farthest ball I've ever seen. But USC and UCLA are Big Ten teams.
It's so dumb. I mean, great. Sorry. Big Ten Scottie.
How much for it, Maryland to go back to the ACC? What would you give?
Give? Nothing.
No?
No.
You don't miss it?
No. Miss this league?
Yeah.
Play a bunch of Big East teams? No, thank you.
All right.
It's not that league. Friggin' Stanford and SMU and Cal. I don't miss that. It's like a hodgepodge. Are you kidding me? Of course I miss Tobacco Road and the ACC Sail with the Pilot back in the day. I miss that.
Charlottesville?
Come on. U-Haul? Carmichael?
Speaking of,
yes, I miss that. That is dead and buried, and we had a funeral for that.
That trumps everything.
Yeah, but that's so far gone. That's so. Now, it'll be weird for the rest of my life.
It would take a second for Maryland fans to get fired up about playing North Carolina and NC State and Duke again.
Right, but okay, you're exactly right. You're exactly right, but. You'd get that once every couple of weeks, and the rest of it would be, hey, we got a big conference game with SMU, and then Cal. Then we're going, it's all these Big East teams. It's just, it's, and I'm not.
What if it was the old ACC?
And I could go back to that?
Yeah.
That Big Ten money's, Big Ten money's tough. I love you, honey, but, we'll send you a Christmas card. No, you can't afford to.
Yeah.
You can't afford to. All things being equal, true round robin, play everybody twice, play everybody twice in basketball, play everybody in football. Of course. But that is done for every league. And I remember it with great fondness, no question. It was a lot of fun being the Yankee school in a Tobacco Road conference.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. But
what were you guys called? What did they call you? Northern Rednecks?
That's what the Duke fans chanted at us. Northern Rednecks. God, that's such a great and accurate cheer. It makes me, it hurts my heart, man, because it's such an arrow to the heart. And you're like, oh God, we got a lot of bad mustaches and accents in our crowd.
Whoa.
I love y'all. I really do. But we're going to get down there. Don't you worry about that now. Hey, fuck Duke. We don't give a fuck about them. I sound like Delco right now.
No, Stavy guy.
I know that.
He's got the best.
Hey, Lefty, we're going to go down there. We ain't scared of you. I don't care no how about that. We'll be down there. Bust your ass.
Had one other.
Okay.
Speaking of UVA, next year, because the World Cup's going to be going on.
Oh, I love that.
The
Belgium.
lax title, Final Four, is at UVA.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Chris Long, guest house. I'm booking it.
I've seen pictures in that backyard. We could just throw up a tent back there. I bet it's pretty good.
It's not a yard. It's
rolling.
It's a park.
The rolling hills.
It's like Yosemite.
I bet it is.
It's awesome.
He deserves it.
Have you been to the pool yet?
What pool?
The pool you go to?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Here we got an issue.
Okay. Listen up, America.
Dads' bathing suits.
Yeah.
I think they're getting a little too short.
That has been the trend in
right.
The trend in the last few years has been that the more thigh, like the days of like the knee length, those are kind of in the rear view.
I haven't seen them. It's all tight.
Tight?
Tight.
Like not like a Speedo tight.
No.
But you're just telling me like
butt
huggers, like coach's shorts.
Yes. Not bike style, with tight around the quads, but like there's room. But here's the issue, is that bathing suits, you know how they have the net in them?
For your junk.
Yeah. I cut all that out. You just can't do it. And with the issue is these shorts are getting shorter, and we're coming on a possible problem.
So we
still need a version of good length trunks. And as I peruse places, it's getting shorter and short. Like you'll see like 6-inch, 8-inch. I'm like
inseams?
10. Yeah. I'm like, how about the 10? Give me the 10.
Because if I'm connecting the dots here, what you're telling me is you cut the netting out.
Yes.
And you're afraid that maybe you're going to end up hanging brain at the local.
I mean, I'm getting my laps in during Adult Swim, so I'm in the pool and,
Yeah, man, you don't want to have an incident.
No. So it's just like boxers. Like I still prefer boxers.
The briefs.
Okay. And it's really, really hard to find boxers. Good ones.
Yeah, I'm with you on the mesh. It's just binding.
It's horrible.
And then I don't know what's happened.
And at the beach, it's even worse.
Yeah. I think you just need to find some old school jams and just call it a day.
But you need the ones that dry fast, like
I know.
Trunks, California, everybody was the board shorts. Those are like $75. I'm like, come on.
No, I hate to tell you that I have all right, this is where Scott.
There we go.
This is where Scott admits to I have a problem. I may have a bathing suit addiction.
Oh.
Well, it's a French outfit called Vilebrequin. They don't cost $75.
Do they make 10-inch?
Yep.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Are they a tie?
You can get the long, it's called. And
there you go. Is it over $250?
It is, Steve.
Oh, my God. How long have you been shopping and buying these?
I haven't talked about it. I never had an on-ramp to mention it, but I probably have a drawer.
Don't say over 15 pair.
Oh, God, it's so much worse than that.
What is the name of this free plug?
Vilebrequin. Vilebrequin. I think I'm saying it
How
right.
did you find this place?
Fashion.
When you were in Paris last year?
No, dude, this has been.
Did you look for them when you were in Paris?
I bought a pair in Paris.
Oh, God. Were they cheaper overseas?
No. They have. There you go. Right now we're scrolling them.
Yeah.
I'll find you some good ones, Steve. The problem is that they're Vilebrequin. I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah. See those.
Somebody
ones
play it and make sure I'm saying it right. I just know this is a true story. I'm on the beach in Bethany Beach. This is so embarrassing.
Great.
And this little kid, he's like body surfing. And it's one of those deals where we're there for the week, they're there for the weekend. So we see him. And then I was wearing a pair. They make some that like have some embroidery on them, and those are the most expensive ones.
Where's the price?
Well, the embroidered ones, I'm getting to it. This kid comes up to me and he goes, "My parents said your bathing suit costs $900. I swear to God, this happened in Bethany Beach. And I look at this little Sparky, this little freckle-faced kid, and I'm like, "What? Wait, where are your parents?" And they're over there. I said, "Listen, tell your parents it's not $900, but also don't worry about what somebody else's bathing suit costs, because that's an odd thing for them to be worried about and have you ask me about. You tell him I said that. I never saw him again that rest of that week. But it was a topic of conversation that this little kid literally said, my parents say your bathing suit costs $900. Oh, wait.
Come on.
Wait, is that?
$9,400?
Now, I don't know what that is.
Come on. Embroidered starfish dance.
Well, that's gold, apparently. Now, I don't own any $9,400 swim shorts, but I will say I have a drawer in the house.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Have you spent $900 on a pair?
Don't think so.
Oh, God. Yes, you did.
No. The ones that I got, they had these embroidered like.
How long have we been buying these?
Several years, Steve.
Over 10?
No. It's a recent problem. It's gotten really bad.
Since you got the beach house.
It's gotten really bad in the past few years, and my wife just rolls her eyes at me and she's like, Are we really doing this? I'm like, yeah, but look how good the colors are. The colors really are incredible. And the good length, Steve, and they dry quickly.
That's a key.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a pair. Although I'm going to tell you,
what are they? Yeah, but
you and I are bigger.
French.
You and I are bigger guys.
Yes, that's the problem.
And I'm just going to tell you that.
They make
that. Yeah, but the 3X,
it's tight.
They need
their 3X is probably a 36.
Yes.
Yeah. See, like that's
they're
not
making
real.
They're making it for some guy that's on on a scooter.
I mean,
smoking cloves.
I'm not. I get what's the most common 6 feet, right?
I guess.
I mean, it's amazing. Like I've given up a long time ago, or you can only go like while we're talking, like Lululemon pants, right?
Yeah,
they're the best. The best. Wear them every day.
Do they make them in Stanford Steve sizes?
They do.
All right.
But you got to order them. But again, other places, 40, 34. That's the size.
Sure.
How many times I would go and you see 42, 28. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Who is this tank you're making
40, 40. I'm like, come on. Like there can't be that many guys that are 5'9" that have 40-inch waists.
Yeah, and it's not like we're fat people; we're just big people. But I don't know.
Bigger.
I don't know if they make. I don't know if they make Stanford Steve sizes.
$500 for a bathing suit. Yeah, see, those look like California board shorts where the boys.
There you go.
They would get expensive.
But it's so good. I don't know. I was going to share with the world my addiction to this product, but boy, they're so good.
So
entire drawer full of them.
Like
I'm a,
in Florida at Bethany and here,
they're everywhere. And I got a shopping cart right now that has some in there. I put them in there. I can't buy anymore. I'm gonna.
So you're not going on and buying one either.
No, because every year there's a new collection. New collection.
Oh my Lord! And I can't wait for people to come up to you on the beach now. I'm gonna have every kid ask you.
It's already happened. Like we've already.
So you've never seen this kid again?
No, we broke the seal on that God. Already. You can't shame me. It already happened. So I don't care. Come up to me. I'll be like, yeah, they did. What about it? I got 10 more in my house.
Do they have like matching shirts that are $9,000?
Well, you wouldn't see. The main thing that they have is a tortoise, and that's what I think. I think I looked for a turtle bathing suit, and that was what hooked me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, wait, this stuff's awesome.
Because I love anything like American flag.
This is French, so
they're not going to have. They're not. I see a couple stars.
Hard to find.
There you go. Let's get you an outfit, a matching outfit.
There'll be none of that.
A leisure shirt.
I'm not wearing fucking pajamas. I'm wearing a bathing suit. I'm addicted to high-end swimwear, specifically Vilebrequin. So be it. We've
fantastic.
Talk to my wife about it. You guys are on your little text thread making fun of me.
Oh,
she'll have some gems for you about my problem.
Oh, we got Father's Day coming up.
That's
too.
Exactly right.
She will not buy you that.
Oh,
no way.
She has.
Not anymore.
And they got a great little father-son thing where Charlie and Sam got little tortoise ones and yeah.
Are the kids the same price?
I think they're cheaper. Not much though. This is whatever.
Let's see. All right.
What are the kids?
Charlie, 160.
I mean, for a kid's bathing suit that he's going to spill ice cream and ketchup
all over.
Yeah. Well, All right, so it's a little late for me to put this toothpaste.
But
back
you're
in the
with me,
tube.
right? They're getting a little snug.
There's an issue with what do you do with your stuff? So and the mesh here's in it. I've had to try to figure out what am I doing with the mesh.
Got to cut it out. You have to.
Right, but
those have mesh.
Some of them, not great.
No, because like you got the sand involved. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah,
it's
really
bad because it's everywhere. You don't need the same design as the shirt because I'm also.
That was a good purple one we just saw go by.
I'm also.
Look at that one
with the skin
limited edition, the embroidery. That's the one that gets you, Steve.
And what's that go?
Check
for?
The price on that. Go ahead. Click on one of those. Click on one of those. Let's see
embroidery.
What? That's probably like $6.90.
Yeah, they're not even putting that on there. There you go.
Click on one. How much?
$6.90.
Bang.
You called it.
Who doesn't want to spend $7 on a bathing suit?
Unbelievable.
Again,
I can't wait to text your wife.
Well,
where's Scott?
He's
shopping for drawers.
All righty, everybody. Didn't know we were going to share that, but it's fine. Wish you could have seen this little kid.
Oh God,
squinting up in the sun.
Awesome.
My parents said your bathing suit cost $900.
Were you over in Delaware?
We're in Bethany, right on our street, getting harassed by some little Sparky.
Like last year before.
It was probably a year before, 2 years. I think that was the one that had those little octopus ones, octopi, whatever they are. Okay, so now you think less of me, or maybe more.
Do you get compliments on them?
Those that know.
Yeah.
I think it's like a club. It's like the people that have it. Like I'll notice if someone has that kind of bathing suit. I'm like, there's a man that's not afraid to spend on a quick drying.
I don't think we're going to see any in Dewey.
High fashion garment.
Bethany, maybe.
Bethany, sometimes.
Dewey, no.
Probably not. Just go with some cut.
Dewey, you need your money. Those crushes are getting expensive.
I bet they are. Go get them, Monty. All right. That'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll see you in OKC Thursday.
You going to bring your trunks to OKC?
I don't think I'm swimming.
Hotel pool?
Don't think we're going to be there long enough to take a dip. Shame. See you on the beach, though, this summer.
Yeah.
If you like what you see, come on up and say hello. It's fine. Heckle me. Everybody else does. Have a great week, y'all.